Hey guys, welcome back to my channel today. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you guys my worst products of 2018. I am so excited to share with you guys what to really steer clear from. A lot of these products are still available on the market, so do not get these because these are definitely some of the most disappointing products I tried this past year. Of course, if there is a product in here that is your all-time favorite, that's okay. I hope you don't get offended if it's something that I don't like, but just remember that makeup is different, so that's the beauty of it. Everybody's gonna love different things. If you guys are new to my channel, hello, my name is Jenna. It is so nice to meet you. Thanks for clicking on this video today. And without further ado, let's get on to my 10 worst products of the year. The first two products are definitely the Tarte foundations. These were released really early in 2018, and you guys, of course, there was a huge controversy because of the lack of shade range. I actually think it was a good thing that we brought that to Tarte's attention because this is not the only brand that has done this. There's a lot of brands that really shortchange, like very fair or very deep, or they have quite poor range between shades, and it's literally time that that changes for sure. So I'm glad that more of these companies are putting out more and much better shade ranges. But of course, the products themselves, in my opinion, weren't even that good. So I actually tried them on my channel. It was one of my very first videos, so I look back and I laugh. But there was the hydrating formulation and there was a matte formulation. The hydrating formulation was very hydrating to the point where it made me look greasy and it made me look super, super shiny. I definitely had to powder multiple times throughout the day, and that wasn't my favorite thing to do, honestly. Also, it oxidized like crazy. So I definitely have some foundations that oxidize on my skin just slightly, but this one was crazy. It was almost like 1 to 2 shades darker by the end of the day. The matte version was super hard to blend because it dried down really quickly, and it also oxidized. Granted, not as bad as the hydrating one, but it still oxidized on me pretty badly. And it also felt cakey and like I was wearing makeup, like so heavy on the skin, and I hate that feeling. So those two Tarte foundations are definitely making my worst list of the year. The next product is from Too Faced. This is the White Peach palette. A couple of you said to me afterwards in the comments when I talked about this the first time on my channel that you really liked it, and that's great. I'm glad that you do. But for me, the pigmentation was basically not there. It was very, very dry. I didn't like how they were depositing onto the eyelid. It was very patchy. This was such a disappointment from Too Faced, especially coming from their very highly successful peach palette. So unfortunately, that one is also on my list of the worst. The next thing is actually the Sephora Play Luxe bags. So I actually did a video on one of their Luxe bags. I opened it up and I was so disappointed. Everything is like micro sample sizes. I don't know what I was expecting because a lot of these brands, they're very expensive on their own. So a Sephora Play bag probably isn't going to be like full-size versions of all of these things, which makes sense. But it was so small. Some of these things were like, you could have just gone to the store and gotten a bigger sample size for free. I honestly thought that that was just like such a disappointment, and I don't even want to pay $10 for that. I think I paid 20 or 25 American for that bag, and I was like, wow, I should have gotten Starbucks drinks instead because yikes. Opt out of those Luxe bags, go to the store and get a sample from a product that you're wanting because guaranteed it's going to be bigger sizes than in the bag. The next product that made my worst products of 2018 is definitely the Estee Lauder Bronze Goddess eyeshadow palette. You guys, I was so excited for this palette. I did do a review on it on my channel, and I just, for the life of me, could not get it to look nice on the eyes. It was like the shades blended into each other. So unfortunately, this one really didn't work out for me at all. And I know a lot of you guys like this one too. I do think that one would be best used with just like one shade, maybe all over the eye. I don't think you could do like 2 or 3 shades without it really blending into each other and just looking a little bit odd. So unfortunately, that one was also a bit of a letdown this year. Now let's talk about the Becca and Chrissy Teigen collaboration. Oh my goodness. Okay, this was the second one that Becca did with Chrissy. And the first thing was a body oil. I did test this one out on my channel, and although it wasn't sticky, it was basically not on the skin. I felt like I had to go over top of it for it to show up. The shimmer was quite subtle, and I did find that it looked really oily on the skin as well, but I guess that's kind of what the whole idea of a body oil is. I don't know, but it just definitely was a bit of a letdown for me. But even worse than the body oil from this collaboration was the compact. It had highlight bronzer and blush in like a gorgeous design, but practicality wise, it really didn't do so well for me. I felt like when I'm using a bronzer on a regular basis, I need to have a wider area to dip my bronzer brush into without hitting the highlight and the blush. So unless you wanted to blend all of the shades together for one like super blended shade, I felt like the practicality was really poor. Like, how are you going to get to that highlight? You're going to have to use a really small brush. Same with the blush, same with the bronzer. I get they were trying to do something that's travel friendly, but ugh, I don't like having to be that careful with my things, and it just visually looked gorgeous, but practicality, not so much. Speaking of body oils, the next product that made my worst list of 2018 was definitely from Fenty. This was their Body Lava, and you guys, I got some of the worst hate comments I've ever received from that video. I guess she has a really strong following behind her brand, which I'm so glad for her for. I think that's awesome. But when it comes to the makeup, I'm gonna be honest with you guys always, and this had such a tacky finish to it. It was sticky, made me feel so uncomfortable putting it on my skin that I was never gonna wear it again. A lot of people also said that I put too much on my skin. Well, even when I had a lighter amount of product, it was still sticky. I have longer hair as well, and I know that if I kept that body oil on, my hair would stick to my shoulder. It would definitely transfer all over my clothes, or if I'm in my car, like on my car seats. I was like, no, this is a huge mess. It's super expensive as well. You do get a lot of products, but for the price tag, you have to love something like that. And for me, sticky is a no-go, so that definitely failed for me this year. Now let's talk about another collaboration that I was super disappointed in, and that was the Smashbox and Vlada collaboration. I did do a review on her highlight. This was a very, very tightly packed powder in this compact. It was like really hard to get a swatch. It was hard to apply it with a brush. The pigmentation was basically zero. I was so disappointed because the packaging was gorgeous and the design in the compact was gorgeous. I was so excited, but unfortunately it just failed for me. I really had to work at getting the product up, and I feel like that's just not fair. You want to swirl your brush in and get enough of powder onto the brush without having to basically put your elbow grease in it to transfer onto your brush. With the little pigment that I was able to get out of it and applying it to my skin, I definitely saw it was emphasizing any and all imperfections in my skin as well. So unfortunately, definitely bummed out about that one. Now let's talk about the last fail, which I think is the worst product of the year. By far, worst product. It's on sale right now, and that is probably because it did so bad. This is the Melted Latex Liquid Lipstick, and oh my goodness, I am so thankful that I got this at a discount at TJ Maxx, because this was the most awful lip product I think I have ever put on my lips. It was sticky, it was thick, it was like smearing glue and paste along your lips. Once I was able to put all of the goopy mess on my lips, I thought, okay, maybe when this dries, this is going to look bomb. No, it took forever to dry down, number one, and number two, when it did, all of a sudden I had lines in my lips that were super accentuated that I'm like, I don't remember seeing those lines on my lips. Like, it almost made me look older, and I was like, what the heck is this? This is absolutely insane. So unfortunately for Too Faced, I don't know what that person was thinking when they pushed that to market, because yikes. I have never ever put anything that awful on my lips before, and that one went straight to the trash. Anyways, guys, that is it for the worst products of 2018 video. I wanted to really get nice and succinct, get the top 10 worst products for you guys. I hope this wasn't too negative. Normally, I'm not a super negative person on my channel, but this I find is very informative as well. Of course, this is never a direct hit from a total brand. This is just product by product, and some of them work for you and some of them really do not. So I hope you found this very informative. Let me know down below, what are some of your worst products of the year? I would love to steer clear from those. And until my next one, guys, take care. Thanks so much for watching. Bye!
But somewhere there's a light inside of us. It shows the way.